Hi, this is Amir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zacks Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 17th of April. Starting off with the S&P, which has done what we didn't want it to do, which was head to the floor of that rising trend channel from October. That's around the 50-40 level. And below that, there's a risk of a move even down to 49.20, which was basically the old January resistance and initial February support. If you are a bull, then you're probably best waiting on an end-of-day close back above the 50-day line, 51.10 or so, or that March resistance line of 51.40, even if that gives away quite a lot of the upside. If you are a high octane trader, you'll be trading off the back of the assumption that the market will or already has bounced at 50.40 at the floor of that October trend channel. Moving along to the Nasdaq, and here we're also trying to pick through the wreckage. The difference here is that this market hasn't quite fallen to the floor of the rising trend channel from October, so the 17,600 level, the level in question. If we're looking for a buy trigger now, then it would really be an end-of-day close back above 17,800, which was basically the March support area for this market. If you're cautious, you'd be looking for 18,000 and the 50-day line to break before assuming that we can then resume a journey towards 19,000 plus and record highs. As far as the nightmare scenario is concerned, then that would be late January support here, 17,100, which was also the late December resistance area. Moving along to the stocks, and starting off with a new name, which is Ambipar. Here you can see that we have just started to bounce off the lows for the shares, potential of a support line projection there around the $4 level, and above that then a move towards the top of the falling trend channel from back in August as high as $7.40, maybe as soon as the end of next month. I suppose the key here is to get back above the $5 level, which was and is resistance on the way down. Stock which I looked at just a few days ago is coming up next, Auddia, and here a bit of a rocky ride. We've had old support becoming new resistance. That's still the case around $3.10, and looking for an end-of-day close above $3.10 and the 50-day moving average to give us a target as high as $6 by the end of next month. On the downside, the support there is at the bottom of that gap up that we had there around $1.50, and so maybe if you are a bottom fisher, then you'd be looking for a move down to that area as a potential entry point. That would tie in with a support line projection coming in from back in October. Moving along to another stock of interest at the moment, and here you can see that we've got Corecard, and the picture here is of another break of the 50-day moving average. We've had two failures, in fact multiple failures at the 50-day line, so this looks like the first time we've broken the 50-day line and stayed up. That is currently at $11.50, and above that looking for the top of the broadening triangle from January as high as $15.60, hopefully by the end of this month. One of the favorite and most frequent stocks here in the recent past has been Destiny, and interesting that having drawn the rising trend channel and the shares hitting almost on the nose the top of that channel there with hardly any data from back at the beginning of, well, the end of last month, we've seen now the shares returning to the floor of that channel around $31. Above that, I suppose the initial target here would be to fill the gap up to $50, the gap down from the 12th of April. So let's see if that works out. Ideally, we stay above the floor of the channel there at $36, whatever happens. Next up, a situation which is new to us and comes in the form of Finch Therapeutics. The situation here is that we've got a broadening triangle, and that's been in place since December. Once again, we're hoping that this is the final break of the 50-day line. That's currently around $2.60, and above that looking for $5.50 by the end of next month. Another situation which we've looked at recently, which is interesting, Canoo, and you can see again the 50-day line in in action here. Broadening triangle base from back in January, an end of day close, or the end of day close above the 50-day line around 280 could give us up to $6.80 by the end of next month. If you're fussy, maybe you want to see that gap down close from the beginning of the month around $3.40 before assuming $6.80 is on its way. Stock to consider now is IMAC Holdings, and the reason for that is the latest breakout through the spike that we had at the end of March. That was around $3.90 and 94, in fact, and above $3.94. We're looking for $6 plus by the end of this month at the top of a broadening triangle from back in March. The next situation is one which has been one of the more volatile ones around, and it is Jin Medical. You can see there's the possibility now of a rebound off the floor of a rising trend channel from back in December. The initial target here is $6, which we'd hope we'd see by the end of this month, and then after that, maybe for the end of next month, a return to the $10 plus area, which was last month's peak. In the meantime, ideally we stay on the right side of $3.30. In fact, $3.40, yesterday's intraday low. Moving along, and here we've got Janone, and here the picture is that of a nice breakout towards, well, in fact, we've already hit our initial target here, which was the top of that rising trend channel from April. Hit it right on the nose, so around the $3, well, around the $4.10 area. I suppose $4 was where we were looking for. And that leaves us looking for the next level up, which could be the upper parallel of that resistance line up to $5.40 by the end of next month. But so the view at the moment is a break of $4 could lead to $5.40. Otherwise, we're looking for support around the $3.10 area and the latest gap. An interesting chart coming up, an interesting name, I suppose, as well, with Prokidney, and here. Nice U-shaped turnaround, rising trend channel base, top of the channel there, heading as high as $3.40. We're looking for that by as soon as the end of this month, while we remain above the old resistance from December at $2.30, so above $2.30. Looking for $3.40 by the end of this month on Prokidney. Moving on to the last two, and the first one, the less famous of the two, Skye Bioscience. Here a nice consolidation within a rising trend channel from the end of August. Top of the channel they're heading for $24, and we're looking for that perhaps as soon as the end of this month, but certainly sometime during May, while we remain above recent support in the $12.80 level, so above $12.80, looking at 24 on Skye. Finishing up with arguably one of the most famous companies in the world, and used to be one of the biggest companies in the world, but obviously things have gone slightly pear-shaped. Here we had Tesla in a falling trend channel for the longest time since last summer. Still could actually wriggle back into it, so it could be that the channel is based around the 155 area, which was basically the latest support for 153. We have the old support there from back in April last year, 152. So we're on alert for a rebound for the shares, even if it's only a short-lived one. Initial resistance, $170. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.